fully to their own culture from where they come, individuals suspended between two cultures.
And experts say that disaffected young men often become radicalized through the internet. Jihadist websites a huge recruiting tool, they say, for terrorists. Arthel.
Melanie Wilkes, thank you very much. You are in America's election headquarters just days before a heated primary election in Colorado. Senator Michael Bennet is on a last-minute dash for votes. It comes as the incumbent Democrat faces new questions about a pension financing deal he oversaw for teachers while he served as superintendent of Denver's public schools. The New York Times reporting the 2008 deal cost Denver School District millions of dollars in extra interest. Bennet is taking issue with the paper's analysis, and his press person tells Fox News the report is, quote, bull. The primary is on Tuesday, and Bennett's opponent, former Colorado House Speaker Andrew Romanoff, has pulled himself into a virtual statistical tie in this close race and is blasting Bennett's role in the pension deal while running a series of tough attack ads as well. Bennet has the support of President Obama, by the way, while Romanoff is backed by former President Bill Clinton. So how will the controversy affect Tuesday's vote and the Democratic Party as it heads into this November's tough midterm election? With us now is Matt Schlapp, former White House political director under President George W. Bush, and Jake Berliner, deputy policy director of the Globalization Initiative at NDN, a center-left think tank. Gentlemen, thank you much for coming on.
Great to be here.
You know, Matt, the New York Times, first of all, a very powerful article considering it's a liberal newspaper and it's essentially attacking a Democrat here, calling Bennett's plan, the pension plan, a scheme. How big of trouble is Bennet in?
Well, I don't think it's a very good year to be a Senator Bennet. We just had another Senator Bennet who is an incumbent lose in Utah, and I think this Senator Bennet is in substantial trouble. He did what the equivalent of what we would do in getting a house, and he got an adjustable rate financing device for the teachers' pension system, which had gone seriously down with these tough economic times. It's already going to cost the residents of Denver $25 million. To get out of this deal, it would cost them $81 million. So I think going into this, I give Romanoff the edge going into Tuesday.
This was a high-risk deal, and Jake, you say Bennett's decision was very reasonable at the time.
Well, yeah, I think like a lot of Americans, Michael Bennet, didn't foresee the worst financial collapse since the Great Depression. But, he's explained this, and I think what we'll really see voters care about come the fall is candidates who will stand up for them, and like Michael Bennet stood up to big banks and passed Wall Street reform. I think that matters far more to voters than some vague deal that they don't.
Jake, I'm not saying that Bennet had a crystal ball and should have, I guess, predicted the economic crisis that we're in, but a good decision at the time. And Bennett's solution to the Denver public school system, their $400 million hole in its pension fund, was to throw more money at the problem. Maybe he should run for Congress instead.
Well, I think really the story in this race is that whoever wins out, Bennet or Romanoff, the Democrats have a pretty strong candidate either way. But I think if you look at a lot of races around the country, the same cannot be said for a lot of Republican options. I mean, you look at Sharon Angle in Nevada or Rand Paul in Kentucky, you have a lot of national Republicans being very unhappy with these candidates. And so I think Romanoff or Bennet are pretty great candidates.
Matt, don't you think Americans are sick of politicians taking their money and spending it at will?
Yeah, I mean, he authorized a financing deal which in essence tried to get them through their deficit in their revenues for the pension fund, and now he has to pay the political price for making a very dumb economic decision. And I just want to disagree. I think when it comes to the Senate race, whether it's Ken Buck or Jay Norton, and I think Jay Norton's going to win that Republican primary, both of them have led in the polls, and I think both of them are very strong candidates. And I actually think both of these Democrats have been weakened by this rough race that they run, moving both of them to the left, far to the left.
Let's talk about what might weaken one versus the other. It is very close. Matt, Bennet has the support of President Obama. Romanoff, who, by the way, sold his house to raise money for his campaign, is backed by former President Bill Clinton. And Democrats right now not exactly so ambitious to have Obama's backing, considering his approval as of late. So could this actually hurt Bennet, Obama's support, Matt?
Well, remember, Obama supports Senator Bennet and actually tried to get Romanoff out of the race by having somebody offer him a job. So you got to give this Romanoff guy I'm not in the party he's in, but I give him a lot of credit. He's